I didn't think that.
You didn't think the lever thing was gonna release liquid?
I thought it needed
Which is its only job.
I thought it needed CO2. There's no CO2. I thought that's
the only thing that thing does is spit out liquid.
All right, so if you guys have been wondering what this is on the bar, this is the new iGulu machine that this company sent us to try it out. It's basically an all-in-one home brew kit, and they send you these bags of whatever type of beer you want. This one's the amber lager. In here, we've got the pale ale, and it just brews it in one machine. It's almost like it's designed by Apple. The fit and finish is phenomenal. It sounds good. It feels good.
Yeah, this thing is super badass, and it just looks awesome to have at your bar. Imagine just like you're having a hosting party and you're having your boys over, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" Like, "Oh, it's a home brew. I picked the flavor." Made it itself, and the best part is that it chills it.
And it doesn't take long. This one is a little early. This one is what, 9 days, I think, Abel? And we're doing it 2 days early, but it's still actually pretty good.
Like, it tastes good.
Also, if you don't want to brew your own beer, you can buy those little tiny kegs, and it's a chiller, and then you just got kegs on tap.
So it's like a little mini kegerator.
Right. What do we got? So we got the pale ale. We got a Bavarian wheat. That one might be pretty good.
Yeah, this thing is.
And the amber lager. And they've got, this is just what they've sent us. You can get tons of different flavors, types of beer. So this thing's pretty cool. I'm excited to try it out some more.
And it just looks so awesome.
Yeah.
You have the boys over and always just be like pouring an actual beer from an
Feel like an actual bartender, yeah.
This thing's sick, so. All right.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Let's head up and do this episode of Beers and Breakdowns.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
What we got?
You gotta intro it.
Do you want me to intro it?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody?
Welcome to this episode.
Are you ready? You gotta do it quietly. Just mime it. I know, right? Ready?
Okay.
What's up,
everybody?
Hello,
Hey
guys.
guys, welcome to this.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. SEAL Team episode 9, season 1.
7.
I work with children.
Anyways.
Quiet down. Shut his mic off.
Shut his mic off. Episode 7.
You're like my kid. My daughter does this all the time.
We finish each other's sandwiches.
Intro the show. What's up? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns.
Why are you holding my hand?
This is the 4th time we tried to do this intro. I'm not holding your hand.
Hold my hand. I'll stop. If you hold my
episode
hand,
9, season 1.
We gotta go fingers in though.
No, I'm not interlocking fingers with you.
Why?
Because it's weird. I don't even do that with my wife.
No, me either. But you know why? My fingers are so fat. Her fingers get hurt when they try to interlace with mine. You want to try?
No, I don't want to try.
It's like a Chinese death trap.
I bet it is. You got tiny but powerful hands. On this episode of Beers and Breakdowns, we're doing SEAL Team again. A treat for you guys because we just did SEAL Team last week. Now this one is, episode 9, season 1. Good show.
Love it.
It's a good episode, so.
Let's go, boys.
Let's do it. We finally get to see Spencer hopping on the team. We get to see a little bit of new guy action.
this is crazy to see the evolution of Spencer.
It is. So, yeah, the evolution of Spencer, both as a character, also physically as the show progresses. But I like this one because we get to see a little bit of what new guy life on a team is like and the parallels between the Tier 1 unit and Green Berets or SF like we were. They're there. Like, it's the same.
The whole, buy a beer. Yeah. Every chance they get, case of beer, case of beer, case of beer. If you think that they're not counting the case of beers, you're wrong.
When I showed up, it was me and Dylan, both new guys at the same time, and our name was on the board with tick marks for every case of beer that we owed. The team sergeant was like, his one piece of advice when we got there was like, tell your wives to set aside some money because you're going to be buying a lot of beer.
Dude, I legitimately spent way too much money on beer. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a point where I was like, I'm not making extra money because all of it's going to beer.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're like, well, it's 24-pack of beers, 12-pack of beers. You can't buy the cheap stuff because that's disrespectful. So you got to buy IPAs. So you go to get 12-pack of beer for the day, and you spent, $18, right? Yeah. $20. That's $20 just for one day. You go in, everyone has their day. We go to the range, we come back. You got 7-8 people in the team room.
Yep.
Every one of them has 2 beers. Guess what? Do the math. you're out of beer.
And your name's on the board, and you're on the hook for 15 12-packs. Like, it adds up.
They don't judge you based on how many beers they drank that day. They judge you based on every time they open that fridge, how full it is.
Yeah.
So in order to fill a fridge,
Hey, new guy, fridge is looking a little weak.
Yeah, fridge, that's like 30 beers that you need to keep stocked at all times. And these dudes aren't getting drunk. They just have one or two, and then things go quick, dude.
Yep.
Please, you've been through this twice.
Yeah.
Sorry we woke you. Figured I'd let Ray sleep. Between this situation and how much you guys have been working.
Right. No.
All right, you can stop it.
Wake me.
Did you guys catch it? Did you guys catch it?
So, granted, I never caught this. I actually read something about this online. Somebody caught it. She comes in and surprises him while he's sleeping on the couch. Next to him is a bottle of lotion and a box of tissues.
Box of tissues and a 6-pack of beer on the table.
And he sits up and he's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, it's that cartoon where the, Shrek?
Yeah.
Where he's looking at Fiona, and then all of a sudden he's like, ugh. You got Shrek, dude.
Just imagine your team sergeant is sleeping on your couch, and your wife walks out in the morning, and he's sitting there.
Well, she's breastfeeding, isn't she?
Is she breastfeeding?
I thought she was trying to hide her breastfeeding.
Not on my couch.
I've had 2 teammates live in my house. 2 teammates. Luckily, my Springs house had a basement that had its own bathroom, so they can go down there and live their lives. Mm-hmm. But I had 2 teammates live in that basement for a period of time, both going through some divorces. And I get the call, hey man, the basement open? Yeah, bro, the basement's open. Have at it. You had a bar down there. You got a fridge.
You got any lotion?
Yeah, there's
plenty of hand lotion down there.
There's a shower, all right? Be respectful.
Happy first day of school. You want me to make breakfast?
No, fine.
It's the most important meal of the day, man.
Good night to sleep, baby. I'll call you later, okay?
Hey, it's okay. You know, it's okay to be nervous. You know that?
Is that a fact?
I love that a white woman asked him if he wants breakfast, and he said, "Nah, I'm good." like I don't want to start my day with burnt eggs. Thank you very much.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, white women, but typically you guys can't cook. All right, hell yeah, white women, you can't cook. Let me just be honest with you.
Yo, Uncle Sean over here.
That's why I married a brown woman, because I like good food. Is it too much honesty?
Carry on.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
it's good.
Oh, okay,
It's
we'll
like,
move on. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know how allowed to be honest I'm allowed to be. It's like I get
Hey, live your
muzzled
truth.
a lot.
Live your truth, my friend.
Okay.
Honest as you want to be.
All right, well, white women can't cook. Moving on.
Last comment.
Setting up my equipment
To
cage.
burn eggs? Waking up with a white woman with burn eggs?
My balls
Yeah.
are up for bringing the wrong kind of beer.
So you went with the Japanese stuff.
Yeah. Well, I said no microbrew, so, of course, then I thought about bringing something really real microbrew, hoppy, nasty. But then I realized if I did, they'd probably shoot me.
You know, it doesn't strike you as kind of juvenile, the new guys to bring beer for everyone else. It's like a fraternity initiation or something.
So, I mean, that's a legitimate concern. He's sitting there stressing over which type of beer to bring. And I remember I went through that. I didn't know which team I was going through. And you always hear you got to find out what kind of beer they like. It's like, what, do you just walk into all the teams and be like, what kind of beer do you like? And so luckily for me, when I actually went to my team, it was a surprise. I had no idea I was going to a team that day. I was on the B team, and I was just working down the hall, and I got wind that I was probably going to go to the team I went to. And then, 30 minutes later, I hear the team sergeant in the hallway yelling my name. And I was like, all the guys were all, it was almost like Toy Story when the claw comes and like, the claw. Because me and the other new guys were in the supply room. And I hear, Rogopot, get your ass down here. And all of us look at each other. And I had this fear in my face. And they were just like,
You're going to the great beyond.
Yeah. And then I went to the great beyond.
You've been chosen. That's what they say. You've been chosen.
And luckily, when I got down there, he was like, hey, new guy, these are your tasks. You need to get a hat and you need to get beer. And my Fox was in the team room. And he was like, Dan, what kind of beer you want? And he's like, Corona with lime. So mine, it was planned out for me. All I had to do was go find it.
With lime.
Yeah, which actually turned out to be a pain in the ass because I couldn't find limes. I I had an hour time hack. I had to be back in an hour, so I had to go to the tactical shop and get a specific hat, and I had to get the beer and limes.
How many beers did you buy? That's the question I have.
I think I got a 12-pack. I think it was a 12-pack.
That's it?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
But the issue was the limes, because I went to 4 stores on the way there. None of them had limes, and then at the last one, I found these, like, they were old, nasty limes. By the time I got back, Dan was gone anyways. Team sergeant didn't care. He's like, throw it in the fridge. And so it's just like I did all this. You know, it wasn't for nothing, but it felt like I was, getting the runaround, which I kind of was.
That's funny, because first I went to the team that I wanted, 2-4, and went out to lunch with the guys. I was like, it was me and was going to be my senior, and it was awesome. And then I get pulled from the team that I wanted and put it on the team that I didn't want. And I was just like, by that time I was so defeated. I was like, what beer you guys want? I don't give a fuck. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But luckily they ended up liking the IPAs, the strong stuff.
2-6?
2-6, yeah.
2-6?
It's a good start.
On time is 5 minutes late, right?
You calling us late?
No, I was.
Okay, I got.
Keep your mouth
First
shut.
time that the new guy tries to show up his new teammates, I say that's a case of beer, right?
Case of beer.
Case of beer. Case of beer.
Oh, God. Where are you going? Get back. Back of the bus.
Back of the bus.
Come on, man.
Don't back
Try to
of the
sit in
bus.
Sonny's chair.
All right, so this is one thing that I think is kind of lesser known about being a new guy on a team. And tell me if your experience is the same. As a new guy on a team, you will very quickly become conditioned to never say that anything is your first time. Anytime they're like, oh, have you ever shot the Barrett before or something like that? And you're like, no, it's my first time. It's like, oh, that's a case of beer. Anytime you do something for the first time, it's a case of beer, at least in my experience.
And they're going to hit you with that if they want to. Because, I remember the senior tried to hit Tom with it. It's your first time shooting at somebody, or so your first time doing this. And he was like, no. No, not at all. Because Tom was like been in a ton of combat before. And they were like, what's your first time doing it on ODA? And he's like,
It's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose. So he was like, I mean, okay. He's like, I've killed a lot of dudes, but you got me. It's my first time shooting at someone on an ODA. Then it was like, case of beer. So they're going to get you if they want to get you. But another thing that in this scene where you're going to sit,
Yep.
that's the thing that I experienced on an ODA and in the police department. Where you sit is huge. And all this stuff might sound like, oh, this is so childish and petty, but it's not. At the end of the day, it's about showing that you understand the dynamics. It's about you being able to humble yourself and being able to put yourself like in this subservient position happily. And you would be happily. Trust me, guys. When you look at him, you don't say Max and being like, poor Max. No, Max is so happy to be one of the guys that if they're like, sit over there, shut up and face the corner, he's going to be like, roger that.
You're there.
And you're there, and you're on the team, and regardless of the fact that you're sitting in the corner, facing the corner while they're all planning the mission, you're on the team. Yeah. And you know that that's just the beginning of your entire career. Yeah. And pretty soon, you'll be sitting at that table with a new guy, and his face will be in the corner, and you'll be scolding him the same way, making him earn his spot.
Dude, as the new guy, you're not sitting at the table. If you do, you're sitting behind everybody else. You're the one that's taking all the shitty chores. Like, you're the one cleaning up.
Yep.
On my team, it was the freaking paper, man. We had to shred all the sensitive information that we had. And so there's this shred bag, and it was by the door. And at the end of, normally on Fridays, or if it filled up during the week, the new guys had to go shred the paper. And there was only one shredder in the company. It was all the way at the end of the hall. So Friday afternoon, there'd be a line of new guys there. And you get real good at learning how many pieces of paper can go in the shredder before
without
it jams.
jamming in it.
But then you're going through it, and you find, like, my Delta, the freaking dummy, he would always throw, like, food receipts and other in there that doesn't need to be shredded, but just to mess with you.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going through shredding all these things, and you're like, well, this could have went in the trash. This could have went in the trash. CDs and other things are in there, and it's just like, one of the worst tasks was sitting there at that shredder for 30 minutes just...
Yep.
It sucked. But
And
as
like,
a new guy, you're doing this crap. You're the one cleaning the bathrooms and
Yep.
stuff.
Cleaning the bathrooms, always vacuuming, always sweeping, make sure the team room's super clean. And then and this is the most important part, is when you guys go and then the team is like, hey, what did you guys think about this training program? What do you guys think about our ops that we have coming up? What mission do you want to fight for? You'll stand in a circle and it'll go down the line. If you've been on the team a year or less, don't even pretend like you have a voice. So it's going to go, You're senior, and then like it could be a junior, but his junior's been here a while, and then all of a sudden it gets to you. If you don't immediately look at that guy and then look at that guy to see what they're gonna say, you're wrong. If you somehow like, oh well, I think, no.
Oh, do you? Do you think that?
Do you need to shut the F up? So but understanding that it's like, all right, it's his turn. Now it's his turn. That shows a lot of emotional maturity.
Right.
And understanding of the situation. You say it's his turn, now it's his turn. I don't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. I don't know enough about being a Green Beret to have an opinion that's going to elevate this team in any way whatsoever. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to shut up and I'm going to know that nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
Yep.
And they're going to move right on like you never existed. And you're all in agreement that you have nothing to add to it.
That's what they always say about new guys is keep your mouth shut and your ears open.
Yep.
So.
That's why when he comes in, he's like 5 minutes late or 5 minutes is late, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, so you're saying we're late? He's like, exactly. Shut up.
Just saying, every second we stand here, the head starts getting bigger. I'm figuring what they got, 20 minutes on us?
So?
Doc and his wife have 20 hours on them. We can catch up to them before they catch up to our people.
Okay, then what?
I'm sorry?
Then what? What do we do after we catch them? We're gonna ask the Russians really kindly if we can get the doc back?
You can't engage, Spencer. He's got a compass from the survival kit.
You guy's not gonna know where he is. He's just gonna head west towards Afghanistan.
The only way through is the Wikir Pass.
Okay, look, we gotta get a move on. We gotta get up on that
All right.
bridge. Tell you what, Brock, get Cerberus a scent, will you?
I'll tell
I love this because it shows how well oiled this team is. Jason and what's his face? Damn it.
Yeah, I wish I could help
Ray.
you.
Jason and Ray, they already, without even talking,
Know
they
the
already
plan.
know the plan.
They know what to do.
I'm sure Sonny and all them are also on the same page. But it shows that you got Spencer coming in here who is, by all accounts, a hot shot. Like, he's going to be the next, guy, right? But he's still the new guy on the team. He's still inexperienced. So he starts throwing out these ideas, and they're like, trying to talk him through it. It's like, okay, well, what are we going to do when we catch them then? What would you want us to do with the Russians? We're in China. We can't just fight the Russians. That's going to be a huge incident. So what do you want us to do? It's like, use your head.
But he's talking. He's outrunning his headlights.
Yeah.
So he just keeps fucking verbal diarrhea. Blah, 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 blah. It's wrong things. And it's like, dude, just shut up.
Yeah, you're the new guy.
Shut up. Like, you will know what we're going to do when the team sergeant tells you. Trust in his experience. Trust in this team's experience. You don't have to be. He's still, like, trying out for the team, where he thinks that if he comes up with the answer, it's going to give him credibility. When the reality is, just shut up and learn. You're just here to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he starts saying, let's go after him. It's like, yeah, that's a really stupid idea. So instead of proving that you're an asset to this team, your mouth is proving that you are so far from where you need to be an asset to this team. But if you would just keep your mouth shut, you would learn quickly, and you say, oh, dang, these guys have a whole different level of knowledge and expertise. I could just start sucking that in and figuring out what they're getting at, and I'll learn faster instead of thinking I have to prove to them that I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove. They wouldn't have picked you if you didn't deserve to be there. Now shut up and learn. And they clearly had, second and third order effects already in mind, and they were already on the fifth and sixth option in their heads. They had already worked through it because they've done it so many times. It's like fail. Okay, this is a good idea. Mm-hmm. And he's already like, let's go this way. And they're like, if you knew how many mistakes that would lead you into.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. I know they're like exaggerating it because I can't imagine. But then again, they're Navy SEALs, and I feel like Navy SEALs a lot of them are really overconfident, and you probably would find Navy SEALs that get to DevGru and still have this mouth on them, because I've met Navy SEALs in TV show opportunities that we're working on, and they're just yip, and the TV show this one specific one, and if he knows who he is, I don't really care. He was like, they're like, hey, tell us a story. And he starts going off on how he almost got kicked out of the military for committing war crimes, but it was the Green Berets' fault because he was just following their lead. And this essentially shot me the opportunity because I looked at it, I was like, are you serious? This is the story that you're willing to tell, is how you committed war crimes, and now you're going to try to blame it on Green Berets because you were following their lead? I was like, are you stupid? And then the producer comes up to me and she goes, you and him would make a really good host to the show. And I was like, I would never host a show with this guy. And I didn't get the job, and he did. And they were like, okay, fair enough. And I stand by that decision. It's like, what are you thinking? So my point is, you think people are going to mature past saying stupid things, but some people are so ignorant and so overconfident that they'll never mature past saying stupid.
Foo.
Fighters.
Got you, boss.
All right. I just thought it was a cool example of the challenge and password. Mm-hmm. So like they're linking back up with the element. The element's there in a security position. And so they've got comms, so they probably know that they're coming. But a failsafe and a fallback is anytime you're going to approach that unit, you're going to have a challenge and password. So theirs was Foo and fighters. So if they called out Foo, and it's the Russians that are walking up on them, and the Russians don't know what's going on. Now, since they don't respond with fighters, they don't respond appropriately, they know it's an enemy, or they know it's at least not their guys, and they can now escalate and go to the next level.
Guns free.
Yeah.
If I say Foo and you don't come back with fighters, I'm going to say Foo one more time. And if that Foo ain't the Foo, you getting shot, my boy.
And they know the Russians are there, so they might walk over and be like, "Что это?" It's like, okay, mother, time to go.
You're like, no, fighters. Yeah, challenge and passwords. It's all basic. No matter how high up the echelon you get, basic tactics are always going to be in play.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what if your comms aren't working?
Mm-hmm.
You might rely on your comms and hey, we're coming back in, we're linking back up. Maybe they didn't get it. And now you just surprise them in the middle of the night, and now you guys got a friendly fire incident.
Yep. And this goes back to Band of Brothers.
Yep.
Anytime we watch anything from World War II or World War I, you realize that all this stuff, all these tactics are just learned experiences from things going wrong. So how many times we watch Band of Brothers or any of these other shows from World War I, World War II, where friendly fire incidents have happened because we didn't have a good challenge password scenario in place beforehand, or units get split up too much and we don't have some kind of challenge that we could do with other units, especially in World War II and Band of Brothers, where it's like you could have a challenge password with your unit, but the guys walking up to you are American, but they're not your unit.
Yeah.
And they're not even supposed to be there. They just floated in or got in the wrong position or got lost. So crazier things have happened, but these are all learned experiences from prior wars.
Yeah, and even back then with the Band of Brothers example, you only had one person on your team with a radio a lot of times. You had your radio operator. So everybody else might not get the same message in real time. So you got to have it. And that's what we heard a lot, actually, was, what was it? Flash and Thunder in Band of Brothers. That was their challenge and password.
Yeah. So all this stuff is just learned from previous wars and previous mistakes. So anytime anyone talks about someone's making a mistake in war, just know that there's always mistakes in war. Always. Yeah. And the best thing that we could do is learn from those mistakes. Not judge the people that did them, but learn from them, because we've all made mistakes ourselves.
Yep.
I've talked about many mistakes I've made in combat on this channel. Some of them are hard to admit to, but got to own what I did.
All right, boys. The Russians are also wearing night vision, so we're going to throw all of our flashbangs and thermite grenades to white out their MPGs.
Hell yeah.
As we make a run for the border.
Hell yeah. Super cool plan.
All the way across. It'll only take their eyes a minute or two to adjust.
Figure we've got that same minute or two to get across the border, so we'll have to move fast.
250 yards, uneven ground, carry a litter in 60 seconds. We got this.
Sure, we got this. Let's bone her up.
Such a good plan.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Because it's so awesome, because it shows his experience again, because he's on the radio. He's already got his nods up, and he looks up, and he's like, actually, I don't really need these right now. We could still see. We know they're using them because they got IR lasers on their guns. You see the IR lasers going across. Let's use it to our advantage.
Yeah, start throwing flashbangs.
Because one thing, if you're wearing those and somebody comes in and shines a flashlight in your face or something, it is going to blind you for a bit. And it takes a while for your eyes to I'll come back down after that. So super smart plan.
Yeah, I love the plan. It also shows the difference between Green Berets and Delta is that Green Berets are in the mix. He said Green Berets are on the border coming to meet you.
Yeah.
So like we're out there with you, and we're doing cool shit too. It's what Delta gets is that next level of being on the side that you're not supposed to be on. Like Green Berets will get sent into the most austere, dangerous environments, and then Delta gets sent into where it's just like, no, you're not there.
Yeah, they've got different authorities. We report to other elements, different elements than they do, so they have different authorities. So they're able to be just on the other side, 200 meters across that border.
But that 200 meters makes all the difference.
Yeah, right.
Because that 200 meters is the phone call that, hey, you're on your own. We'll disown you.
Yeah, exactly.
We will never admit that you were there. So if shit goes wrong, we're not going to say that we know anything about it. And it was just like, it's like a happy accident.
But if you're on the other side of that line, you have the full air assets and everything that America has. You can see it. It's right there, but you have to be on that side of the line.
You're the Bob Ross painting, you know, that little happy accident tree, that beautiful little tree that's just sitting over in the corner with all the tab chasing hose behind it. And we're like the legitimate force that's like supported and like got all the good stuff, but damn, it would be so cool to be the unlegitimate force.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have loved that. I wish I sent it to that little bit further to see what they get to do and to really show up in a place that we're not supposed to be and be like, hey, let's play, boys.
Unfortunately, I don't think enough people understand your tab chasing hose reference.
Oh,
we gotta link that video.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, when I first started this channel, I had an idea one day, and I was just giving talking heads about how helping people get selected and all this stuff. And then one day I was like, hey, babe, I think it'd be really funny to do a Bob Ross painting. And she was like, no, please don't do that. She's like, you're a legitimate person trying to do a legitimate thing. And she's like, what you're telling me sounds really, really stupid and juvenile. And I was like, I'm doing it. And the next day I went and bought a Bob Ross wig, and then I set up a GoPro and I made a Bob Ross painting, and I was like, oh, it's a happy little accident. And I tried to explain your SF career in a Bob Ross painting.
Oh my God,
and then I made a little
hilarious
tree, and I was like, what's behind that little tree? I was like, a bunch of tab chasing hoes.
We'll just put a bush right here, just like that. Oh yeah, just dab. All right. Well, now that we have a bush, you might be asking yourself, Buck Ross, why do we need a bunch of bushes on our Special Forces career? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because behind those bushes are going to be a bunch of tab chasing hoes. So.
Didn't you auction that off?
Yeah, and I auctioned it off, and somebody bought the painting, and that guy has the painting.
Awesome.
I signed it and everything, and all the proceeds from that auction, and I think it sold for like, at the time I was a really small channel by myself in my garage. And I think it sold for like $600 or something.
That's awesome, man.
And all the proceeds, every single penny of that auction went to charity.
If you want to see the video, it didn't get as much love as it should have. So Abel will link the video down below.
I just thought it was fun.
We gotta watch that.
I thought it was cool. And Pam, my wife, was like, "Oh my God." She's like, "This is the rise and fall of your little
That's
YouTube
hilarious.
channel."
I love that.
And but if you guys don't know, like, there's women out there that go after SF guys because they want the notoriety, they want the health benefits, and they ruin a lot of SF guys' lives. So you got to watch them tab chasing hoes.
Oh, man.
Is there one more?
No, that was it.
All right, guys. So that's it. Another great episode of SEAL Team. I love this episode. I love the blinding idea. That was a super solid plan. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what movie you guys want to watch next or what show you want us to watch next, and we'll see you on the next one. We're off to see Shane Gillis. Peace.
Woo. Die like a dog.
Die like a dog.
I hope he brings out some chump tonight.
Oh, I know. He's got to, dude. That's a shtick.